Hey, this is Russell. And today we're starting a new series of Software Inc. And this is what we're going to call the phone operating system only run. The name is pretty self explanatory. The only way I'm going to make money off of my own products is going to be through phone operating systems. I'm starting in a 1980 start year because I want to have some time to be able to build up my teams doing the developing deals and stuff like that. In order to make phone operating systems, I'm going to need hardware and all of that. So I'm going to need some way of making money beforehand, especially because I plan on doing this on possible difficulty, something that was suggested to me by in the comments in the previous series I did, saying that I was ready for it. And so far, yeah, I think I'm pretty ready for it. Um, so this is just going to be mainly a character creation episode, me explaining what this run is going to be about. And yeah, also, I just want to throw out there I'm using a different microphone. So if you guys think it's better or worse than the previous one, I'd love to hear feedback on that because I still have a previous one too. But yeah, so the character model I'm modeling right now is Alexander Graham Bell. If you know him, awesome. If you don't, I did a report on him back in like the fourth or fifth grade or something like that. He was the person who was credited with first patenting the the telephone, and he made a fortune off of that. And he's the actual inventor of the phone is a little bit debated because like someone else submitted a patent in the same day for it and everything like that, but his patent registered first, so he is officially supposed to be the inventor of the phone. And so a fitting person to run our company on the phone operating system. And yeah, so the series rules are going to be pretty basic. um we can only develop phone operating systems to sell on the market. I will allow myself to do things like 2D editors and stuff like that, then do it in house, but I don't think I'm going to do that at all because, well, I don't think you need a 2D editor and 3D editor and audio design tool in order to do stuff on a phone operating system. So if I'm wrong, then I'm gonna figure that out after making like the first phone operating system. But I don't think that it makes you select tools and stuff like that when doing that. So if that's the case, I'm not going to be making my own tools. Um, I can make money through contracts, obviously, because I'm going to need to do that. Development deals and stuff like that, but I can't make money through anything like a 2D editor, computer operating system, anything like that. Um, so it's a little bit limiting to what I can do. Actually, very limiting. But I think we're going to be able to push through it. I think we'll be able to do a pretty decent job overall. And yeah, I'm pretty pumped for this series. So Alexander Graham Bell here is I'm trying to select like designer focus. That's like what he's going to be. He's going to be mainly a designer, which makes sense if he's an inventor. Um, I don't want like everything like all my extra points in like programming and stuff like that. I want it in designer. And he's going to be a visionary creative, so he's going to need his own office and everything. He's going to have like IP ownership and all of that. And yeah, so hopefully that plays pretty well for us. Now you see I have the designer, but then I'm like, if you look at my leadership, it's really low and stuff like that. Also, I've selected all of those, and then I realized later that I can't have them all selected because in impossible difficulty, you can only have a certain amount of points. So these point allocations are going to be reset in a little bit by the fact that we're going on to impossible difficulty. But yeah, mainly I am focusing on being a designer. And then I tried to bring my leadership up there a little bit, and then it failed on me because I did that. The big brain focus and the Visionary seem to have a little bit of conflicting. You have to mess with the sliders if you want to make it so that you still have pretty high lead in programming skill, relatively high lead in programming still, but then you have like the developing as well. So yeah, because then otherwise it just goes into something like leadership, which is pretty useless to have up as like a high up thing. That looks a bit better. Don't mess with it anymore, Russell. Perfect. Perfect. And that's about as good as you're going to get in terms of balancing all of that out. And I believe, well, I guess we'll see in a second what other traits I go for. Fixes their computer when using it. It's pretty decent for the beginning of the game. There are some better traits I could have gone for, like not better trait. The two best traits to have like as like starting traits is either like the battery one or the RGB FOM, in my opinion, because the battery one will let you work longer hours and stuff like that early game, while the RGB FOM makes it so you don't have to worry about like repair costs on computers and stuff like that. So you don't have to call an IT specialist and everything at the beginning of the game. So yeah, I just went with RGB thumb. One or the other trait I'd recommend for early game, for an early game boost. And then I went with Silent but Deadly because he's never going to be like in an office with anyone or be using like elevators, probably. And then, actually I say that, but with a little bit of foresight in the future, I do plan on integrating an office with elevators now. So probably not the best choice to get that one. And then the Dirty Feet one, which allows you to just make more of a mess when you walk around, which isn't a big deal because cleaners can clean up that mess. So yeah, I'm designing him here. Every picture I've seen of him on Google is him sitting there in a suit. So I put him in a suit. And yeah, so that's the gist of this series. We're basically going to be playing for phone operating systems only. We're starting at 1980, so I have till 1995, I believe it is, to build up my team. Over the course of 15 years, get a building, get a warehouse, and all of that. I also made a custom map for the beginning of the game so that I can whatchamacallit, I'll be able to like be able to do all of the things I want to do. So you see, now that I've done that in impossible difficulty, it's changed my stats around. And honestly, it changed it in actually a pretty decent way. System 2 design, System 2D audio and hardware, those are pretty decent allocation of points. Multitasking, I believe, is a much better thing to get than being able to hold meetings. Eventually, I want to work my way down to being able to hold meetings for socialization, but it'll take a little while to do that. And so, yeah, this is some pretty decent point allocation. I have one in every artistry, one in every programming, so I can do all of that. And most importantly, I have a free in hardware, which is basically going to be one of our biggest focuses in this game. Support and marketing. Support is always most useful, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think guys ever going to be doing support. And for the name of the company, I chose like a ton of different fruit names, and then I did like a random spin wheel, and I ended up on watermelon. So we're gonna be kind of the Apple of this alternate universe, but it's gonna be watermelon. So Watermelon Inc. is going to be, I think it's Inc. or did I do corporate? No, yeah. Okay, Watermelon Inc. is the name of our company, and that's what we'll be playing with. I went to pick map, and I made a map for myself. It's a really pretty map, in my opinion, and I didn't put too much detail into it, but the lack of detail on a desert map kind of makes it look nice, in my opinion. So this is the building we're going to be working with. You can see there's like a little tiny office to the right. and that's where we're going to be starting. That's where we our starting renting position. Then we have like three big like developing rooms and one big reception area for this building, and that's the whole building. So it isn't a building that we can stay in. We're eventually going to have to move into a warehouse, and we'll get like a warehouse building, either rent a warehouse building or build a building of our own in order to be able to continue going. But I'm pretty happy with this map. I threw in like a few office buildings on the side there, so it looks like it's kind of like a area like that. I made like a river in the back with lots of cacti focused around it, and a couple little neighborhoods. I think it's a nice map, and then we have like this nice blank area where we're working, so that yeah, I'm pretty happy with this little map. Building, there is no second floor. Those are all like pillars. I just did that to make the roof look a bit nicer. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are looking forward to the series. I've been looking forward to recording the series for a long time. The idea popped in the head quite a while back. So I'll see you guys next time for the very first episode of the series. Bye. Like, favorite, and subscribe if you guys want to see more. Always interested in your feedback down in the comment section. You guys have a good one. God bless.